Srila Prabhupada explains very beautifully how when a person is absorbed in the activities of sense gratification, or the very consciousness or the very absorption, the consciousness which is absorbed in sense gratification has to make here and there plans for happiness. Yes, the person has to make here and there plans for happiness. So okay, why in Krishna consciousness we do not have to make plans for happiness? Because Krishna consciousness is a self-manifested happy condition. Prabhupada says Krishna consciousness self-manifested peaceful condition. So the very so we say actually the so we say that actually Radharani is our eternal mother, and the bhakti, Radharani is the manifestation or the embodiment of bhakti. So so the very nature of bhakti is that it is very nourishing. Therefore, the very nature of bhakti, it is very nourishing. Therefore, as soon as the bhakti, the process of bhakti started, immediately the nourishment starts actually. Just like you see, it is just like, say, when a person is at his home, he doesn't have to worry so much. Okay, will the next meal come or not? Will I get to eat or not next? When will I get to eat? Will I get some water if I am thirsty or not? So these are very basic things. Very basic things. In the home, one doesn't have to worry about any of these things, is it not? Only when one is only when one is landed in some Thar desert or some Arabian desert, he has to worry. Will there be any food or not? Where will I get my next meal? Or this one bottle water I have, will I get the next bottle? When will I get it? so, so only in when very extreme circumstances, extreme unfortunate circumstances, when one is so away from home, that even these small things become very prominent, is it not? Like for a devotee, now the devotee is doing journey, then one has to worry, agla prasad, where it will come from, So either one has to make full journey prasad, 2 days prasad, nice, beforehand, or one has to figure out, okay, which is the route the train is going from, okay, this station is coming around breakfast, this is coming around lunch, where is the ISKCON temple here, there, how the, can somebody supply prasad, something like that. So a whole lot of planning has to be done. But if you are there in our home, they are there in Seva Kunj, say for example, you don't have to worry. मिलेगा कि नहीं, कैसे मिलेगा, कब मिलेगा, कितने रुपए का मिलेगा, है ना? क्या मिलेगा, है ना? Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, it's only when one is outside, is it not? क्या मिलेगा, है ना? कितना quantity मिलेगा, है ना? So we don't know actually, you know. So, so all those problems start because of the fundamental aspect that we are not connected to the home. We are not connected to home. Similarly, uh, uh, these small problems become very prominent because of dissociation at the home. That's the whole point. The moment one is at home or nearby home, everything is going to be supplied. Is it not? Without one thinking about it. So, without one's thinking about it. This is the point. Sometimes it is our experience going to journeys or planning for journeys that it takes a good amount of time. It's uh, it's very it's very serious. It takes a good amount of time and energy and consciousness. Sometimes in journey, the only thing we are able to successfully do is manage prasad, and stay. So many times successful journey, successful yatra में चलो 3 बार प्रसाद मिल गया, है ना? और है ना, नाइट में सोने को मिल गया, है ना? से ओके, इतना प्रोवाइड कर दिया, सक्सेसफुल यात्रा मैनेजमेंट, है ना? All plus thumbs up to them, is it not? Right? So why? Because it becomes, the whole thing becomes on an alien ground, artificial ground. It becomes very difficult. So therefore, this material ground is alien and artificial to us. Just like when we are walking around, roaming around, we don't have to worry. Like, hey, ना, वो सांस लेने के लिए हवा मिलेगा क्या? हवा ही हवा है, is it not? Right? But artificially one tries to say enter the sea, sea diving. Then one has to worry about, अरे हवा कहाँ से मिलेगा, cylinder में कितना हवा बचा है, how much time I can do time pass inside the, what do you call it, sea, when I should go up, is it not? So all those, only one artificially one dunks himself into an artificial atmosphere, the very basic fundamentals also become a rarity. This is what happens with Krishna unconsciousness. With Krishna unconsciousness, even the basic things which a Krishna consciousness devotee would not even think about in a dream also. कि मिलेगा नहीं मिलेगा, क्वेश्चन ही नहीं है. Because Krishna consciousness is giving so much. But Krishna unconsciousness, one really gets nothing. So Krishna unconsciousness is a ghost existence. Nothing one gets. Is it not? Very miserable. Very miserable. That's the point which we can understand. And therefore, Prabhupada is explaining that even the simplest activities of devotional service can be most fulfilling. And in that context, Prabhupada is mentioning that don't think hearing and chanting are not activities. They are full-on activities. In fact, they are activities of the senses. So just by hearing and chanting, we are connecting to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we are pleasing. And therefore, whatever one wants will be satisfied. One doesn't have to foam and struggle. It is very naturally and automatically supplied. Geetam mayedam naradevan nandanaha parasya pumsam paramatmanastavam japanta ekagradhiyastapo mahat charadhavam mante tata apsyate yatepsitam. My dear sons of the king, the prayers I have recited to you are meant for pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Super Soul. I advise you to recite these prayers, which are as effective as great austerities. In this way, when you are mature, your life will be successful and you will certainly achieve all your desired objectives without fail. If we persistently engage in devotional service, certainly all our desires will be fulfilled in due course of time. The Zen Bhaktivedanta purports of the 4th canto, 24th chapter of Srimad Bhagwatam, entitled Chanting the Song Sung by Lord Shiva, Rudra Gita. So the Lord Shiva is so enthusiastically sharing those very instructions and messages which he had personally received. So I believe Lord Shiva was mentioning he received these prayers from Brahmaji. And so that's how Lord Shiva is so ecstatically sharing these prayers for creating auspiciousness in the lives of everyone, is it not? So that is the efficacy of this divine message. That whenever this message is surfaced, it creates auspiciousness in the lives of everyone. That is the nature of Krishna Katha. That it creates sumangalam everywhere. It creates auspiciousness for the speaker, the hearer. For all times to come, is it not? The live hearer and the hearers for all times to come. That is Krishna Katha.
What is the statement that all the desires will be fulfilled? What does this mean? Is the desires are purified and then fulfilled, or any desires? Even many times this statement is used.
Yeah, so the question is that, okay, the statement that certainly all our desires will be fulfilled in due course of time, what does this mean? Does it mean that material desires will be fulfilled or material desires will be purified and fulfilled? What does it really mean? Yeah, actually, the very interesting point is that, you see, the point is, in ignorance, one's understanding of oneself is also very limited. So, therefore, what exactly one needs, in ignorance, one is not very clear about it as well. So, it's just like just like a small child. If you see a very small baby child, so this baby child, because is uh, because uh, because his brain is not much developed, his cognitive faculties are not much developed. The child cannot really understand what's happening with him also. What to say of the world, what's happening with himself, what does he want, where is he, who is he, what is he up to, that also he doesn't understand much. So the scene is that, children, their vocabulary is very limited. So they cannot express their own needs very properly. So therefore, what do they do is that whatever they know, they try to express everything through that. Is it not? So whatever they know, they try to express everything through that. Uh, and therefore, what happens is that uh, therefore that expression in itself doesn't have much meaning, because anyways it's not conveying the meaning. But that's all, what one can do in that state of ignorance, like that. So so it requires a great amount of tuning for one to understand. Like say for example, very small child, the only way in which he or she expresses whatever they want to express is through crying. You see, small children, they cry, and so for everything they cry, is it not? If they are angry, they will cry, If they want something, they'll cry, If they are irritated, they'll cry, They'll cry for everything, is it not? Like that. So they'll cry for everything. So now what does that fellow want? Many times it's not easy to understand. Even for a mother, it requires good amount of hidden trials. Many times, Uh, so, like for example, the child may be wanting food. The mother may be thinking, okay, this fellow wants to sleep, so she is, okay, soja. This fellow doesn't want to sleep. The lack of expression, like that. So similarly, actually, material desire is basically that same expression of an intrinsic need of the soul, which is coming out in yeah, in a perverted vocabulary. That's all. So therefore, when that actual need of the soul is satisfied, then that material desire is not existing. That's the point. So exactly, the material desire, the desire per se has no meaning. Because what the soul, that's what George Harris is saying, everyone ultimately wants what? Love of Krishna. When that starts getting addressed, then, girlfriend, a name, fame, all that doesn't make much sense. So if you ask people, so the face value doesn't make sense, because anyways, that's a poor vocabulary expression of what exactly they want. They themselves don't know. Like that. Yeah, so material desire is a expression of the same spiritual need, where there is where there is a very acute lacuna in a very shabby and perverted language. That's all, nothing else. So therefore, we should not worry too much about material desires. Is it not like that? Why? Because when the heart and the need is satisfied, the need of the soul is satisfied by connection to Krishna, then the material desires will not remain. They are there because there is acute shortage. Is it not? When the spiritual shortage is supplied, then the material lurking things will not be there. So that's what we have to understand. So in our own spiritual life also, if spiritual life is practiced with intensity, then these material desires will not surface, will not remain. They'll get burnt out. They won't remain. And material desires are percolating and emulsifying, means the intensity is missing. The intensity has gone down of spiritual practices. Because spiritual desires can supply everything, or spiritual intensity can supply everything. Then how material desires are remaining? It has to get burnt off. So it all is a matter of intensity. That's the point. Yes.
और फिर सेकंड में होता है कि दूसरी भी करने लगी यही से होता है कि यही बता दे पूरे सर्वर तो आशाएं तो हट गई यानी मटेरियल आशाएं हट गई और गुरुमत सेवा में लगे तो स्पिरिचुअल आशाएं जग गई तो स्पिरिचुअल आशाएं पूरी हुई
Yes.
सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन की वजह से यहाँ पे अब भक्ति योगा के वो अपनी सेंसेस की बजाय कृष्ण का सोचने लगता है.
Yes. Yes, that's true. So, so spiritual desires get fulfilled, then material or spiritual needs get fulfilled, then material desires won't remain. That's the point. So therefore, our